What's up, everyone? At Comic Con Africa, I had this great opportunity to talk to Joey, the anime man, and Akidearest. I made an interview video with all about anime and manga. Yeah, this is the video. Enjoy.
Firstly, we'd like to say welcome.
Thank
It's
you.
nice to have you in South Africa.
Yeah, it's been great.
There's a lot of us here who've been really looking forward to you guys coming and asking for years. So we're really happy that you are here.
Yeah.
you.
Thank you very much.
So just to introduce ourselves, my name is Willem. That's Willem. A lot of people get confused, but Will for short.
Sure.
And I'm on Instagram as chibiwolf _ which I thought was ironic because
Yeah.
I'm a short dude.
Yeah.
And
I'm Tessa. I'm from All About Anime and Manga. If it's anime, if it's manga, I cover it, whether it's live actions, random things,
Sure.
art, and all of that.
cool. So we're gonna get this out of the way because we know this is on everyone's minds. One Piece live action,
That's all him.
right?
Well, I mean, you haven't even seen it
No.
because Aki's.
so let's
Aki's
talk
not-
trailer.
Okay.
Let's talk trailer.
Trailer.
Right. So initial takes. What did you like? What did you think could be improved upon? What didn't you expect?
Okay, yeah. So I actually did 2 videos on it on the second channel. One reacting to there was a teaser trailer which was like 30 seconds long, and then there was the first full trailer which is like 2 minutes long. I was pleasantly surprised with, I guess the wardrobe work, like how the actual actors were dressed, because I think one thing that a lot of live actions get wrong, and I've seen literally every live action that has ever come out. One, I think, aspect that a lot of live actions get wrong is that they try to overdress the character, or they try to make the character look too much like the original character, which was like a massive problem in, say, the Full Metal Alchemist live action.
I kind of viewed that as a child's movie. Like everything was so cartoonified
Yeah.
and overdone.
And
overdramatized.
especially the actors just looked like they were in cosplay,
Yes,
which
I had
kind of
the same
takes it away,
feeling.
right? Whereas the One Piece live action, what I really liked is that they kind of made a conscious decision to take out certain physical appearances and physical aspects of the characters. Like Usopp didn't have a long nose, and like Sanji didn't have the squiggly eyelash, which a lot of people associate with that character. But I think the actors did such a good job of portraying what the character was like that they didn't really have to rely on the physical appearances, and I think that just made the world more believable.
Yeah, they actually brought it to life.
Yeah, and my favorite, for example, out of the entire series was Buggy. That actor was incredibly well done. Did such a good job of like portraying like just how maniacal and evil, but also very comedic he was, which is why everyone loves Buggy.
Yes.
And I think I watched all 8 episodes and I really really enjoyed it. If I had to give like a numerical score, probably be like a 7 or an 8 out of 10, I reckon. Yeah, I mean, season 2 is coming out, which I'm a little bit afraid of because it's going to start with Chopper. So I don't know what they're going to do with Chopper.
The dreaded CGI.
Exactly. Are we going to get like a weird CGI character, or are we going to get like a child actor playing as Chopper? I don't know. But that's going to be really interesting to see. And you should watch it because you've never read or watched a single episode or chapter of One Piece, right?
No.
Because it's too long, right?
Yeah.
I reckon the One Piece live action is probably the best, taste tester.
It's an introduction.
I think it's a great
really
introduction
good one.
for people who have never cared or to watch or read One Piece.
Or they've looked at it and it's gone, no, that's way too big a
Yeah,
project.
way too long, right? Like I know so many people personally who actually texted me and said like, "Oh, I actually watched the One Piece live action, and now I kind of want to start
I'm
One
getting
Piece."
the
Right?
same. They're like, you know what, it might actually be
Yeah.
good. And then they see the animation of the first few seasons and I'm like, just push
Yeah,
through
first
it. Gets good.
first couple of seasons a bit rough. Maybe up until like Alabasta, it gets good.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a commitment, but like the world building in that series is just so unmatched. And
Exactly.
there's a reason why it's one of the greatest anime ever made. So yeah, what did you think of the One Piece live action? Did you watch any of the trailers?
Yeah, so I saw the trailers, and I mean, like, the only, because I don't really know much about One Piece anyway, I can say, as far as, like, the outfits go, like, it looked pretty spot on. I think that's pretty much as good as you can get to find that sweet spot between live action and anime because I remember like when the Cowboy Bebop trailer first dropped and then people were like complaining about
Faye Valentine.
yeah, Faye Valentine. And then I saw like the Twitter comments and people were like posting like pictures from like cosplayers saying, "Oh, this cosplay was much more accurate than that." And I'm just like, I mean, that cosplay is great, but it doesn't translate well when you put it into a movie. Like take Marvel for example. If you look at like the evolution of like Batman or any of the I was gonna say villagers villains, in the beginning, like they looked a little too cartoony, like for today, and then as time has gone by, they kind of found that sweet spot where it's like we want to make them look like terrifying, but still kind of keep those elements to by the way, this is the Riddler.
Yeah,
by
stay
the way,
true to the
yeah.
character.
So it's about like that nice sweet spot, which I think a lot of people didn't really understand when it came to like anime because I get it, anime is very especially for One Piece, like all of the physiques and like the entire tropes, like they're very over the top. Yeah, they're very over the top, and so like I think that's what a lot of people are skeptical of. Like, how are you going to translate this to live action? And I think the creators, just from what I saw, understood how impossible that is. So they were like, "We're just going to get rid of it because no one wants to see it anybody." Like, so
Also, like there was a heavy amount of like Oda supervising it as
Oh,
well. Like Oda Eiichiro, the original creator of One Piece, was like heavily involved in this live action,
I'm so glad he
and I'm
was,
so glad
and I
he
hope
was.
he is all the way
No,
through.
totally, totally.
Yeah, for sure. Because like I also saw read up on the fact that Eiichiro Oda was like very involved in the scenes.
Like nothing. They wouldn't include anything. Yeah, they wouldn't include anything unless Oda said yes.
Because like there was this one scene that was either not misty enough or it wasn't like it didn't suit the atmosphere or the feel of that particular scene, and then they went back to Cape Town to refilm it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because it was filmed in Cape Town, wasn't
It
it?
was filmed in
Yeah,
Cape
that's
Town, which
right.
is like
Which is
it's
crazy.
and I'm just looking at all these different like vista shots, and I'm like, that's somewhere within
Yeah,
Cape Town.
I mean the locations were perfect for all the places, and no, I really really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Cool, cool. And just to double back on outfit choices, I know that Nami's first outfit is heavily inspired by concept art of like what she was portrayed as, and I
Yeah.
was like, that's a very cool touch.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I didn't even know about that, so that's like super cool to hear. Yeah.
Yeah. Back to casting choices and how anime translates into series. How do you feel about the fact that they cast Spike Spiegel, which is 27 in the anime? Does he match the age profile and like the feel of the character?
Yeah, when it comes to the Cowboy Bebop live action, I honestly think what was his name? John Cho, I think. Playing Spike, I think was actually a good casting choice because I think the biggest problem with Cowboy Bebop was just its story, because a lot of parts of the story were changed, and personally speaking, a lot of changes that were kind of unnecessary didn't really add anything to the world. I don't know why they decided to make these certain choices, but honestly, I think the acting and the actors that were cast in each role were actually pretty good in my opinion. Like even Faye and like Jet especially, like the actor who played Jet was phenomenal, and also Vicious as well was really really good acting. Again, like I think people who were complaining about the Cowboy Bebop visuals were being a little bit too pedantic about it, personally speaking, because I was like, you're that's not the problem with Cowboy
No.
Bebop. It was the writing and the story. Like that was the biggest problem.
yeah, with Spike Spiegel, I had no problem with the casting choice because Spike Spiegel in himself, even though he's 27, he is very like mature for his age, well beyond 27. So I think that the actor actually kind of conveyed what like Spike Spiegel's like entire, I guess, what do you call it, persona or his presence or whatever you want to call it. Really wasn't as big of a problem as other elements. I think that kind of overshadowed that. But yeah.
With the growing popularity of the anime medium and it's finding itself way to the west, it's the south and Europe. What do you think the future is for distribution and consumption of the medium?
I think that's an interesting question. I think what we've kind of seen, at least for as long as I've been aware of the inner workings of the industry, is that there is very heavy levels of enthusiasm when it comes to distribution internationally from international distributors who are just like, we really want to like produce more manga, get more licenses for anime, try and get the West to like consume more of this because it's a good business, obviously, and that's what businesses need to do. Like they need to make money, right? But I think the biggest problem right now, and the kind of Achilles heel of this whole thing, is the stance that the Japanese industry is taking, which is not as enthusiastic. I think they're more concerned about domestic sales and like how anime can be built up marketing wise in terms of the domestic market. Whereas, and with the clash in those mentalities, I think it makes it really difficult for a lot of these international distributors to approach the original IP holders and being like, "Hey, we want to distribute this. Are you guys
But I
cool with that?" And they're
suppose
like,
keeping the money in the markets, in the
"Yeah,
direct
exactly."
markets is
I
more
think the
complicated.
mentality around the business is very different from the West and Japan. So I think once the Japanese side realizes the real value that they're losing by not taking advantage of this, I think is going to be the day where like anime can really like get out there
Take a
more
step
than it already
forward.
has. Yeah, totally.
Okay. I'm just going to jump ahead a couple questions
Mhm.
because we're on the same topic. How can us as a community like make our voice heard in Japan to show we are a market, we are a viable source for
Well,
income?
first of all, don't pirate anime. That's definitely one thing.
Step number one.
But,
Step
like,
number one.
licensing.
Step number one, and I think honestly the Occam's razor of this whole thing is just show it with monetary support. Because again, how the Japanese industry works, it's a business at the end of the day.
is,
And if
it
they're not
is.
making money, then they're not going to think, oh, we're being successful.
Exactly.
So, whether that be like, using streaming sites like actual licensed streaming sites like Netflix or Crunchyroll, like buying official merchandise. If you're a manga reader, then buying, like properly legally published manga in whatever country you're living in, I think is the best indicator to be like, hey, we actually like this stuff and we want more of this stuff. Yeah.
With all the creative endeavors that you do, because I know that you have your own YouTube channel, you have your own music under Ikuru, and you have
Thank you for mentioning that.
there you go, and you have the Trash Taste podcast, you have your nonsense clothing brand, which is not me saying it's nonsense, it's just the brand.
That's the name of the brand.
How do you balance everything?
I mean, obviously, I want to, just with how I operate, I want to be doing as many different creative things as I possibly can because that's what gives me the most satisfaction. For example, when I decided to start the clothing brand, I was like kind of semi-regularly also like streaming on Twitch every now and then and making like live content. But then once nonsense really started to get a role and trash taste started to really become a thing, like I realized I kind of needed to sacrifice something in order to like put 100% of my focus into the thing I really wanted to do. And in the case with the clothing stuff, I basically just kind of said screw it to the streaming side of things because A, I wasn't really having fun with it. B, I wasn't really like getting creatively satisfied with it. So I kind of sacrificed that in order to like focus on the clothing stuff because I was just personally a lot more passionate about it and I saw more of a future in it for me. So yeah, I mean, it is kind of difficult. In my case, it helps that I have like a lot of staff helping me in different elements. Like nonsense right now, we have 4 other employees that are helping me. My own YouTube stuff, I have like a bunch of editors and videographers and stuff like that help me. I hired a personal assistant this year, which is the best decision I ever made this year, just because it made things so much easier. Like, I think, it's the idea of like not being afraid of asking for help, I think, is the best way to kind of fully utilize your time. And obviously, I want to be able to spend as much time with Aki as well, off camera. So like, actually going out and touching grass and having a life as well. So just kind of figuring out the balance of that, I
Very
think.
important, staying hydrated, touching grass.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you got it.
All right. I want to thank you.
Question. One
Sure.
more. I've been told I can squeeze in one more.
Yeah, sure.
Aki, this one is for you. I've been watching your detective series and it's a lot different to your normal content. Your normal content's a lot more fun, upbeat, and goofy. Do you enjoy the serious side? like the research, the time it takes, and a different approach to your content.
Yeah, no, I do definitely enjoy the true crime series. I mean, I started it just because I kept consuming true crime a lot. So, I mean, I will admit that, they take a really long time to research, and it kind of like drains you a bit because I see there's a lot of things that don't make it into that video.
Yeah.
It's already really hard to get YouTube to approve true crime videos, especially as graphic as they are. So it's really hard for me to find that sweet spot. But yeah, no, going down that rabbit hole of all of like the really like messed up crimes is like something that is kind of like rewarding for me in a weird way, because like you said, like all of my other content's like kind of like the more like fun and very honestly very very easy content to make. So it's a challenge for me, but it's still really fun, and a lot of other people also like to make it. So I feel like, yeah, I think I enjoy making it just as much as people do watching it.
I like seeing the other side of Japan, the side that's not really shown,
Yeah.
and you get to
Yeah,
hear
and I
more.
feel like it's a side of Japan that like not even Japan wants to like pay attention to. So here's this foreigner that's just like, here, I'll do it, and then people are like, why did you talk about it? And I'm like, because it's there. Like, so yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool. Thank you so very much
Thank you.
for joining us today and giving us your time.
Absolutely.
Hope you enjoy the con.
Yeah.
And yeah, hope you have a great time here in South Africa.
Thank you very much.
That's us from Comic Con Africa 2023. My name is Willem, Chibi Wolf on Instagram.
And I'm Tessa from All About Anime and Manga.
And yeah, thank you so very much for joining us today. Again, Aki, Joey. And if people didn't already know, where can they find you?
Nonsense.jp, buy my clothes.
Onlyfans.com/Akidearest.
There you have it. Right, cool. That's a wrap.